remove the label off of the boxes. There you go. And as you can see, I use my real name for my YouTube channel. That's the whole thing. So, start with the first box. This is extra classic filter pump. I bought a new one. The old one broke. So after the old one, which is pretty cheap, the Dolphin filter camera filter. It's around $15. I've had it for at least 6 months. It broke as I was cleaning it. And I ordered a new one, and I ordered the bigger one. I have a different one. That's different than the one I had before. And it has 3 liters. So that's what's in here. Let's go to the smaller package. And here's what's inside. These are alcohol wipes. These are big ones, which you can use for cleaning and stuff. Not just for your hands, they're good for surface cleaning, like cleaning your keyboard and stuff. This is surgical tape, medical tape, leukoplast, medical tape. Here's alcohol wipes, same brand, all the individually packaged. Single pack. And here's another medical tape roll that's wide, 5 centimeters by 5 meters. And then here are compasses, sterile compasses, 5 by 7.5 centimeters. Here's the filter pump. I'm a Christian toilet video, so I'm the toilet a secret prescription book called Gang Stalking. And to my knowledge, I'm the only Swedish person, Swedish toilet video who's not high brand limited, but it's not just public with who I am, my identity. This is toilet video, but live streams for hours a day. Like most days I spend at least 3 hours on the stream. It's just like a breath of fresh air, because people in Sweden don't look at forums or at posts about this green stuff and stuff, because you all these people have their names that come from video. And I'm the only person they could find online something like green stuff, but they can also watch my live streams and see the real company that really don't like and talk about green stuff. Yeah. So I'm a breath of fresh air. People that read the flashback forum, this read about gang stalking, and see all these people they claim to become videos. Most of them are fakes. They're all just anonymous people under anonymous account. Whereas me, and if people find my social media, they can see the person leave the comments, live streaming online. So it makes me somewhat of a breath of fresh air. Where I'm a real totally leader. And people find me from commenting on forums, posts, comments. They can tune in and watch my live streams. Whereas most so-called videos are anonymous and they just leaving comments, text. So in marketing, advertising, and just social media growth, being rare is good 9 out of 10 times. So if you're the only Swedish target video active online, being an IRL streamer, I'm the one person. If somebody's like, I'd like to see one of these target videos that I see in YouTube comments or forum, Reddit posts, yes, I'm a Swedish target video. I'd like to see one of them, not just comment, yes, I'm a Tia here, live in Sweden. Okay, but say if somebody's like, they'd like to see a target video on camera talk about the gang stalking. I'm a person who's a Christian target video living in Sweden, and I'm live streaming a big chunk of my life. So I do IRL streams, and I don't just talk about I get harassed in the supermarket. I bring my phone with me to the supermarket when I'm shopping. And sometimes people can tell that I'm reacting to being harassed. They might not be able to tell the harassment, but they can tell that I'm reacting to being harassed at the very least. And now and then there's something. So what happened? So I'm a breath of fresh air. I'm the only target video, and they're probably gonna have find somebody to try to copy me. We need to find another person to claim to be a target video and become an IRL streamer in Sweden and do IRL streams. Okay, I won't be surprised that that's one of the patterns that they'd like to copy the program I have by counterfeits. Okay, meaning I don't know if I started playing the flute or something like this, an instrument, and that's part of what I do on social media. It's like I'm a target video and I do videos like playing the flute or something like this. Okay, they find another person. We need to find a fake TI to get on YouTube and play the flute on there. Just to crowd you out and try to steal your thunder. That's part of the tactics how they operate. So anyway, to my knowledge, I'm the only Swedish target video who's not hiding by anonymity. So people who look at Flashback forum, this gang stalking, this thread on gang stalking, or see videos where people claim to be target videos in Sweden. What are people seeing? It's just anonymous people leaving comments about claiming to be target videos. Whereas me, I'm a person who's live streaming, and I'm not just a guy anonymous leaving comments. Yes, I'm gang stalk is happening to me in Sweden. Okay, I'm actually live streaming my life, IRL streaming, being a target video. And I spend on average around 3 hours per day live streaming. Rumble, YouTube. I actually have a Rumble stream going in my living room, my laptop playing Chuck Langenberg audio, Perp 9 audio. Part 1 and 2. I played part 1 and now I'm playing part 2. So, Chuck Langenberg before being murdered, I do believe that Chuck Langenberg was a real target video. And real target videos are rare. Meaning somebody's active online talking about gang stalking, working to expose this, get the word about it, who also looks like a real TI. Chuck Langenberg is one of few people that was a real target video. And after many years of work to get the word out about gang stalking, hosting a radio show, he disappeared and there's a death notice and most likely got murdered by the program. If I would bet, most likely got taken out by the program. And the last part of his life before he disappeared, and then there's a death report that he died, I think it was 2013. He was approached on his radio show by a supposed insider in his chat when he was live. Yes, somebody claimed me to be an insider, somebody worked for the program. contacted him. And he said that one of the things that he said was TIs with online presence have a short shelf life. Okay. When if a target gets out and starts talking about gang stalking, they don't stay doing that for a long time. Get a word about gang stalking. Either they will get nutty and start crazy talking, or they disappear and people wonder what happened to them. And they get taken out. And not long after that, Chuck Langenberg died. So I do believe that Chuck Langenberg was taken up by the program, murder. And I'm back. Where they can. And I've been taught it for more than a decade. This being stalking. Program. And this is, it definitely has government involvement. Much like the Sursetson program, this is a state program. I have my wife in here. So there's some kind of error. I might have to update my YouTube app because when I'm looking at my phone screen here, I can't see these comments. Gonna check my settings. Live chat on, live chat summary on, participant subscribers, live chat moderation. So I can't see the comments. I had this problem yesterday too on going live, which is why I made like 3 live streams, because I started it, then I could see a comment and I clicked the button and I couldn't see the comments anymore. So sure enough, I suspect if I go check this screen on my phone, I'll be able to see comments. And yes, we have been in there, my wife leaving 3 comments. She said hello, and then she wrote, honey, I'm gonna eat now. And she wrote love you in a kissy emoji. Kissy face, kiss said to my phone. I'm trying to get it from me. Oh, don't you want me? Yeah, whatever, hello babe. Welcome back. Yeah. Good to see you, babe. We was paying for me, so I was talking to her, asked her. She was curious, she asked them what happened. I called her on Messenger, first video call of the day. So we have a long distance relationship. And talk to people a lot helps me regulate my emotions and my ideas. But it's like if you start a psychology or isolation, people are entirely isolated, they struggle to regulate their emotions and their ideas and things like this. So I take the opportunity to be able to talk to people, quality people that I have in my life. And a big chunk of my social life is online, meaning I have online friends and I have an online wife online. So a big chunk of my social life is online, and on a rare occasion I get invited to like a Christmas party or something like this and meet some people. So anyway, Lee was curious. She asked me first video call today. I was in the kitchen and we called me. And she also be curious about what happened yesterday. And she asked how many police it was, and I said, I think it was 2. And she said, no, I think I saw 4. And I said, no, I think it was 2. And I go, no, but there was a guy, it was, I think, a plainclothes guy. So they had 2 cops with cop clothes, police clothes, and 1 police not have police clothes. Okay. And I told her a little bit about the experience. I said it's very boring. It's like for 8 hours in a small room, and it's completely empty, no furniture, no radio, no newspapers, nothing to read, nothing to do, and all you have in that room uh, is a mattress. Okay, and I told her that it's like I'm expecting it for 8 hours, and I told her that what I did was just lay down and try to calm down so I could fall asleep to pass the time. So they have a light that they can't turn off. So I was laying down on the mattress, kind of like this, making like a little thing for my eyes, like this, and then trying to calm down and relax and see if I could fall asleep to pass the time. But I couldn't fall asleep, so I spent my time there talking to God and just trying to relax as best as I could. And I asked her if she had been praying for me when I was in there. She said yes. I said thank you for that. I think it helped. And another thing was, since I'm kind of heavy smoker, okay, I smoke frequently. It's like almost chain smoke at times. So I was expecting that I'm gonna have nicotine going here and start time after loss and I'm feeling really bad. I was expecting that I'd be in there like having nicotine withdrawal and being hungry for cigarettes. So I was expecting to eat. So I was expecting I'd be there hungry for cigarettes and feel crazy, because if you're smoking and you stop smoking, it makes you feel crazy and you're hungry for smoking. That is how it's been. Okay. So weed has never been addicted to nicotine. I think her only addiction is like coffee, like she drinks a cup of coffee a day or so. So most common addiction people have is caffeine. People drink coffee if you consume caffeinated beverages on a daily basis, actually become addicted to it. Nice point. I was expecting to start having nicotine going there and having it go from an uncomfortable experience to worse. But for some reason I didn't have nicotine going there. I was in the 8 hours and I didn't feel like I was starting to have nicotine again. And it could have been worse. Okay. So I told we the truth as I was talking to her, and I guess she was watching the live stream. I told her I privatized all the things I had to look at and decided for her to republish them or not. But I went back after wake up today and put all the live streams from yesterday before I put in drunk tank and private. And I told her a little bit in brief of what happened. I was angry people harassing me as usual when I'm outside and making me angry. And I was angry to police because they not give me a video or when they come to catch me before, and I asked them if they would give me a video and they not give me a video. So part of what happened yesterday, I actually called them on the emergency number and he said, I want to give you the videos like this. He said, this is the goddamn okay. I mean, I actually called the cops. I was mad. So first of all, I was outside yesterday. I went to the dentist. Tell the story, please. I went to the dentist yesterday. They did a gingivitis cleaning, okay? And I came out, I had like blood in my teeth, and I think my gums were kind of messed up. And I went to the liquor store and bought a small bottle of vodka, and then I went outside and what usually is a mouthwash and not spitting out. So I finished like the whole vodka there, okay? Then I went to the supermarket, and as usual when I'm out in public, there's people are sent to go into the supermarket, and in the supermarket here around me in public and do things that push my buttons and harass me and mess with me, okay? And one of the things that it's one of the things that it's like, it's a trauma. I've been pissed about what happened to me that night when I got put in the psych ward, and then feeling like I was the victim of crime by a doctor signing off papers for me to go to the psych ward. I believe she was in the wall, and I believe that the caregiving staff members that called the cops and said I'm crazy. I believe that was like a cover-up because they had been breaking the law in targeting me, quite possibly, not just different people. We need like COVID bullying tactics in my home, the caregiving staff. And when I start talking about them going to dog camp and this guy's terrible crazy thing we're messing with, then it culminated with me in the psych ward. And I felt like I was wrong, not just by the people that were working to provoke me to get to a point where I'm freaking out about the targeting. and then they turn around and do a Volvo campaign where it's like, oh, Mike's crazy is the problem. And I ended up from talk about feeling targeted by the caregiving staff. Several people work for the caregiving staff. Talking about how I felt that they had been targeting me and for the program, okay? Because most people that are working to push my buttons and end up targeting me, make me feel provoked, the people that got put up to do by the program, okay? So I have to start to talk about online. So it's like, after for a long time feel like the caregiving staff were harassing me and targeting me in my own home, I start crashing out about online. It affects me. You know, it's like I end up being angry about it and like reacting to online. And then the same people go, Mike's crazy and paranoid, and I get sworn and I put in a cycle. And there was a doctor that came and wrote, yeah, this guy needs to be in a cycle. And I felt like I was the victim of a crime. I mean, I was wrong. So I've been abused and targeted by criminal staff in ways that I believe are criminal. And I didn't report it to the police, and I didn't take matters into my own hands and do something when we were in here about how I felt they had been abusing me. But it's like I end up reacting to it by being psychologically affected by how they were treating me. And I end up kind of losing it online about it, okay? Crashing out about it online. It's like, oh man, even these people have been messing with type of stuff. And they go on the Dover campaign, it's called the 9 Tackle of Victim Federal. Mike's crazy and paranoid and things are messing with, and we're worried about him, and he's been more and more aggressive. When in reality, I'm reacting to their covert aggression, okay? So I got put in a psycho officer 6 hours, and I felt like I was wrong, okay? I felt like I was the victim of crimes, I was wrong serially. And I've been trying to get body cam footage of that night when a doctor and the police came to take me to the psych ward. And one of the things that I've been thinking is I believe that the doctor was in the wrong by signing the papers for me to go to the psych ward. Because nothing, it's like sitting here, it's like the doctor was here, like how you doing? Well, it's been a stressful day. Or they said that you covered your furniture with plastic. Yeah, I'm allergic to fumes. See, there's nothing like, oh, clearly this guy's a schizophrenic. So I had confidence, it's like if I can get the body cam footage from the police, if they were running at the time where I was talking to the doctor. So I remember the police present when I was talking to the doctor before being sent to the psych ward, and she goes, yeah, the guy didn't go to the psych ward. I felt confident if I could get that video, I'd be able to go, yeah, see, she was in the wrong. There was nothing in my behavior that was warranting me being put in the psych ward. There was nothing in my behavior before her that was like clear signs of me being a paranoid crazy person. See? But they denied me that in writing, and one time I went to the police station and asked if I could get it. And they said, just check the papers again. It should be on there if you can get or something like this. Then yesterday, being downtown, being harassed as usual in the supermarket, getting stalked in the supermarket, and other public around me, perps, so-called. And then it's like once I'm mad, it's like things come to the surface that have been like a pebble in my shoe that I've been mad about it. It's just all times like if I get in a mood, it's like now you're mad about the targeting, and there's things that start bubbling to the surface. Other things that have to do with the targeting. Then I actually called an emergency number in the middle of all this. I mean, before the cops came picking up the bag. He's like, why won't you release the body cam to me that night I got taken to the sidewalk? I don't remember everything I said, but I know that I was leaving like one. But it's like, I remember that it's like, what I was saying, it's like, I'm mad. It's like, why won't you release the videos that I've been trying to get from you? Okay. And I actually went to the police station and was looking for police in there to talk to. And there was nobody there, and I left. And went to park bench and was sitting there, and the police showed up. And anyway, he said, hold on. And they said that several people had called them. Okay. They said that there were several people that had called them, and most likely 30 people working for the program. So it's like people work to provoke you, and they need to react to the provocations. That's a big part of calling, where I'm taught with a program working to provoke and harass me and abuse me covertly. And push my boundaries, harass me, total psychological violence, and covert bullying tactics and harassment and stuff. And if and when I reacted, when it comes to a time where I really kind of lose it, meaning it affects me as intended, where it's like I'm really mad and worked up about the problem, then they look at the reaction to it, oh, look at this unhinged, crazy person. Maybe he's a danger to the public because I'm autistic. If I go shopping, people are working, harassing, push my buttons. And then sooner or later will happen at one of those times I'm really get worked up and wonder, oh, look at this guy being worked up in public. And not like looking at how I'm being provoked and harassed in public, leading to this reaction. It's like, look at him being worked up in public, and he's the problem, he needs to go somewhere. So anyway, when I was sitting at a bench when the police showed up, and I guess I was so drunk, normally I have good situation awareness, so I see them coming. But as I remember, it's like suddenly, what I remember is like suddenly, there's just two police in front of me. Like, I was like telephone there. So it's, I guess I must have been really drunk. Because like normally I see things coming sometimes. So I was sitting there, like, it's like, what I remember is that the memories of the police interaction is two police that are coming. And I don't remember seeing them before that or what happened. But it's important. So they were talking to me and they ended up taking me to one thing. Okay? And thanks to God, it could have been a lot worse. Okay? So I told the truth to Wee when I talked about this. But I told what happened. She saw some of it in my life stream. The police showed up and she was a little bit curious about what happened. And I told her a little bit. And I told her the truth that I was mad at the police. And I was ready to fight them, understand, physically, is how I was feeling. I was ready to throw punches, kick. I was feeling ready to fight the police physically. Is what my feeling was. And they showed up and I asked them, like, are you here to do violence to me? And they kind of, so now, I didn't stop the fight, but I was feeling really angry at the state and the police and all this stuff. So I felt like I was ready to fight them physically. Understand? Meaning, and I asked them like if they here to do violence to me, and I'm ready to defend myself and attack and stuff like this. But if I analyze how I was feeling angry and ready to fight the police physically. And the reason that it didn't escalate was due to their behavior, if I analyze it. Meaning, if they would have been more aggressive, then most likely would have been a fight happening, which could lead to me being physically injured and then not being released the day after this from being drunk. But if you end up fighting the police with this kind of serious crimes, you just be convicted of, you might spend 6, 9, 12, whatever months in prison. So I was in a mood where I was feeling ready to fight the police yesterday. But because of their behavior, it didn't end up in the fight. Okay? Meaning, it's not that I was planning, but if I analyze how I was feeling really mad at the police, and I felt ready to fight somebody if somebody attacked me somehow. Okay, if that would be the police or other people in public that they work for this poll. But due to their behavior, it didn't escalate. So here's the point. So if they have the police on kind of like, yeah, we're working for the statistics as a goal to have as little violence used on civilians as possible, it'd be like a win for them. But here's the point. So I was really worked up and I felt like I was ready to fight somebody. And that I just felt that way. But they were kind of chill when they were talking to me. So I didn't feel like I was getting angry talking to them. Because they weren't really doing something. They were kind of relaxed and calm, which means that I kind of lost the feeling of wanting to fight and understand after some time. So it's like things never happened with my side, one episode. It's like I felt like this could have happened, but it's like it didn't happen. That's the main thing. So, and then I got put in the drunk tank and spent about 8 hours in there. And what I was doing, I was trying to think to like pass the time, trying to fall asleep to pass the time. So I don't rather be like consciously in there for 8 hours, and it's kind of nothing to do. Okay. I was trying to. I lay down on and all you get is like an empty room and the mattress, and I lay down on it and I was covering my eyes like this. A lot of times I'd like this or like this or like this, and trying to calm down so I could fall asleep, but I couldn't fall asleep. And I was passing time and just lay down and thinking and talk to God a little bit. And eventually I got that out, and it didn't happen. It wasn't any serious thing. So thanks to God, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, I know I was in a volatile mood, and it could have been worse. Okay, whereas there could have been a fight happening that day, which could lead to me being injured physically, dying, being locked up for a long time. Like a lot of bad things could happen. I mean, being in that mood, there's a lot of bad things that can happen, but it didn't happen. So thanks to God, I was able to calm down and just sober up a little bit, and then come home and get some sleep. And I had some freedom to come home. And I actually got help by somebody who came to pick me up with a car. Thank God for that too. So if I would have called a cab, maybe about $50 or something like this, just to get a ride home, because they released me around 21, 9, 10 at night in a neighboring city in Shopping. Which means if I didn't have somebody do me a favor, somebody I don't in life come and pick me up and run me home, I'd be just in the street there in another city, and I guess I had to end up calling a cab, and then they're quite expensive. And then also just the problem with having maybe 3% bed on my phone, or 7 I think when I left, and I had to walk around downtown, possibly not 100% sober yet, looking to find a cab. So it was, thankfully I was able to have somebody come pick me up and run me home. So yeah, anyway, thanks to God, thank God, I'm safe and sound at home. And my wife told me, don't drink again outside. She said, if you're gonna drink at home, and don't drink a lot if you're outside, she said. And I thought, well, it's like, you got a point with that. She said, don't drink a lot of that if you're outside. If you want to drink, you can come, she said. So, anyway, back to the main topic. So yeah, I'm gonna call it video. These people who could harass me, call it here. You talk, if you talk about covert abuse, covert harassment, covert provocations, covert aggression. And if and when you react to covert aggression with reactive overt aggression, they will work to make you look like the problem. You understand? Do you understand? It's like how the program operates would be like if I was a gang stalking agent working this program, and there's another guy's told me, and it's like I want these people to get sent to go to the supermarket when they're shopping, and then it's like I do this every time he looks at it like this, okay, and then it's like, do you understand? And it's like he goes and looks and do this, okay, and then eventually, like if this happens every time he goes to the supermarket, and eventually it was like, fuck you guys, okay, I'm having enough of this shit. And then they said, oh, there's a crazy person running around screaming, fuck everybody in the supermarket. And they need to go to the psych ward or prison or something like this. So this is a very evil, insidious program that works to target ways that covert and subtle, other people can tell you can target, but they do tell you reactions to the target. So that you can target covert provocations, covert aggression, subtle targeting, discrete targeting. And I've said it before, if you react to covert aggression with reactive overt aggression, all people see your aggression and you appear to be the aggressor. See? So that's how it works. So if you get targeted with covert aggression and you react with overt reactive aggression, all people see is your aggression and you appear to be the aggressor. Okay. So another like analogy to explain the targeting is like if I'm sitting at a restaurant and there's somebody else sitting on the other side of the table and I kick them in the shin under the table, okay, just kick them in the leg, okay, and they go, what the hell, you piece of this, like this, and I go, this guy's crazy, understand? Somebody call the cops, this guy's need to be the psycho, understand? That's also another way to kind of an analogy of the target. Like if you're sitting in a restaurant and somebody else is sitting on the side table, you kick them in the leg on the table, and they go, what the hell, you piece of shit, somebody. Like, you just call this guy's paranoid crazy. He thinks I'm messing with him. Somebody call the police, be psycho or something like this. So that's the life I told you. That's your life. But people are constantly doing things to make you feel attacked, psychologically, even physically. Can talk physically. And if you're able to be able to kind of listen for a while, sooner or later it's going to get to you, and you're going to, sooner or later it will get to you, and you will react to it. And then when you do, the program will work to kind of weaponize your reaction. And yeah, so yeah, it's not fun and games. Also, my wife told me video calls. She doesn't tell me when I talk to my wife in video calls. Other times I tell her, it's like, okay. She's like, oh, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to get ready to go live. She says, have a good time, okay? Enjoy your time, honey. And I tell her, I don't really have a good time a lot, okay? I mean, it's like I don't really enjoy myself too much. It's kind of weird. I mean, a lot of times if I spend time live streaming, I feel like it's kind of like work. It's like a lot of time spent live streaming, I don't feel like it's a really fun time. Okay, I feel like it's more like a work where it's like I go live and get to work on things, talking, and then maybe I can feel a bit of confidence. And it's a bit like work, but now that I do have to, enjoy myself. Okay, now the purpose of my life is not to just have a good time. I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, you shouldn't have a mentality of just I live for pleasure and a fun time. That's it. It's like I just live my life to have a good time as much as possible, just to enjoy life. Okay, that's not a good mentality because you end up watching internet streams, internet porn, getting drunk all the time. Okay, you end up just eating ice cream and candy, because that's a good time. It's tasty and it's fun to eat cookies and candy. Do you understand? If I was living just to have a good time all the time, I'd probably be eating sweets and treats all the time, not be fasting every day, uh, getting drunk more. Okay, most of the time if I drink, I don't get drunk. Okay, I drink a little bit. It's almost like I feel it kind of affecting me, but I really drink to pull around like till drunk. Yesterday I was drunk. It's the first time in a long time. It's like, yeah, I was drunk. Okay. So here's the point. I don't live for pleasure. Okay, I don't live for a good time, and I don't recommend other Christians either to live, or anybody, just because it's a problem. A lot of people do have kind of the operating principle, like how to live life. It's like avoid okay, avoid bad times and like seek good times. Okay, it's like have a good time. Like, okay, feel good. See, it's like oh, this feels good. Why it feels good to overeat unhealthy food, gets you fat and sick. It feels good to watch internet dirty videos. Okay, and a lot of people do it, and it's not good for you. It's not good for your mind. So. Uh, you avoid doing things that are good to do. So basically, I don't live my life to be like, oh, what? I wake up today, let's look for a good time, okay, and do things that are kind of fun. It's more like what is meaningful. It's like, yeah, I should make more videos about game stalking. I should make more videos talk about this program. I should make keep working with the world about this. Okay. Um, It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do an unboxing. I should make a video out of it, go live and do an unboxing live. Because content is content. So since I'm looking to go on social media and reach more people with the message of the gospel, I'm a Christian, and how to become a Christian, with the message of gang stalking, the secret conspiracy. You don't reach people just sitting at home and just once a month you go live on the internet. Like, for example, yesterday, first time going live on my phone to Kick. I figured out how to go live to Kick on my phone. So some of my streams might go there. They're less sensitive to YouTube. On YouTube, if I've been drinking whiskey, I feel like I need to do a disclaimer. Okay. But on Kick, that's more like a wild platform where people go to casinos and gamble and drink. There's a lot of people doing that on Kick. Okay. So it's a little bit less disclaimer English, okay. Whereas on YouTube it's like bizarre at this point. If I talk about vitamins that I'm taking, like if I'm going to take my morning dose of supplements, okay, like there's B complex, vitamin C, this is that I need to do a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, talk to the doctor for taking the supplements, and then yada yada. So here's the point. Oh. Yeah, so I don't recommend anybody just to do it for a good time. And that's not like a imaginary problem. It's alright, it feels good to say that. It sounds good to say that. There is a problem if you analyze this where there's a lot of people, young men especially, that live too much for a good time. And being more like that as I was younger, they just got me into trouble and bad stuff. So the more I've grown and the older I got, there's more avoiding good times and seeking bad times that are meaningful. Okay. I mean, it's like, it's I don't always feel comfortable. And sometimes I feel uncomfortable, anxious as I go live and I'm okay about talking. Sometimes I feel kind of like anxious, nervous. Okay. But I still focus out to keep doing it because it's meaningful. Then what's the point? Gang stalk is real. If you're told the video especially, you can't have a mindset of just have a good time. Okay, like I don't know, I'm not taught to do that. I'm just gonna live my life to have a good time as much as possible. You have to have discipline. Yeah, you have to have more discipline than the average kid I ask for. Okay? You need to have more discipline. There's certain things I'd like to be able to do that I don't do. I'd like to be able to go to like a gym and exercise at a gym. I'd like that if I was to turn video. I probably like going to a gym and they have all kinds of workout equipment and stuff. But it's like I shouldn't do it because that's unwise as turn video. It's too easy for them to spray with chemicals and people with dark and stuff in there. And to do things to poison me, and just different things. I also like to be able to like, oh, maybe now and then I don't cook at home and like order pizza. And if somebody comes for the pizza. I like to do that maybe once a week or twice per month or something like this. But I shouldn't because I'm not on video. And that makes it too easy for the people to poison me. If I be ordering home delivery food, it makes it too easy for them to poison me. Okay. Even me ordering food online, it's a bit of a risk, a calculated risk. Meaning ordering dry goods on websites where they have like you can buy potato chips and canned food and stuff and deliver to your door. Even that is a little bit risky. Okay. But at least it's like sealed stuff. Okay. Now it's too easy for people to poison you if you go to a restaurant and if you order home delivery. So if you thought video, don't order food like pizza or whatever you order, like one of these, what we call a restaurant, you order home delivery and they drive it to you. You don't order that. It's too easy for them to poison you. Either they can get to a person, especially if it's an establishment frequent, if you give a pattern of ordering, that will incentivize the program to get to the establishment. Meaning if I started ordering pizzas from different restaurants in the city, the program will like now we need to get some of these pizza makers to become agents for us so we can give them like little barter like, hey, if this guy orders anything from you, your job is to put them in this mystery liquid on his pizza wherever he orders before you grab it to him. Do you understand? So it's not like, oh, it's only if people are agents that it's risky. Now there's also ways that it can happen. I'm not going to overread, but remember your total video. If your total video poisoning is something you need to be aware of. The program wants to poison you. There are real physical attacks. The physical attacks are not direct anyway, like satellites out of space like that. But as a rule of thumb, I don't recommend targets to eat at restaurants, and I don't recommend you to order food from restaurants. Okay, the sound is working. For some reason, I can't see the chat, the messages. Live chat somewhere. I don't eat in restaurants. At most, I've eaten at a buffet restaurant. Okay, which is less risky, but not without risks entirely. Okay, they can still have perks in there. Have like that powder and walk past your table and kind of drop powder on your plate, for example. Okay. But at worst, I eat at a restaurant that has a buffet. Why? Because it makes it less likely to probably even try to poison meat, because since everybody's eating from the same containers, I don't think the program would like poison everybody in the restaurant just to poison you. So it makes it less likely to even try. Whereas if you go to a restaurant where somebody's making your food behind the counter and then bring it to you, it's too easy for the program to poison them. So certain things that I would recommend for torpedo, and you're not looking to be super poisoned by the program, is don't eat at restaurants all the time. At worst, eat at a buffet restaurant where everybody is eating from the same containers. Now still, if you do, they can still have herbs sent into a restaurant that have like a lot of spaghetti, and you can talk to walk past your table and like spray a liquid on your plate without you noticing it. Or to walk past your table and like spread a powder, some heavy metal powder over your plate or something like this. And if you're not looking, you can have somebody get something like on your plate, okay? So even that I would recommend you bring. Okay, so now for some reason the chat came back. Now I can see the chat messages again. So we're gonna do this. Gonna play some Chuck Langenberg order. Go to Chuck's Torgvido Talk True Call. And this has been somewhat of a frequent occurrence that I do this. I go live and I play Chuck Langenberg orders. Chuck Langenberg was a real tornado, I believe. There's few people I found online throughout the years researching this and being tornado that I believe are real TBS. And Chuck Langenberg is one of the few people that I found online, the information, and they look like a real threat to me. So I believe the Chuck Langenberg was a real tornado before he got murdered. So, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so I like when we come to leave comments. She both love you. I love you too, babe. It's quite sunny. I'm going to keep making videos about this and keep getting word about this story. As long as I can, there's no guarantees of me alive and free forever being able to keep doing this because I have opportunity to keep doing it. There's two things I like to share the gospel. That's important. And get the word about gang stalking. This tyrannical, evil persecution forward. Let's switch it back. The seagulls. I might start doing more commentary, making more videos than Chuck Lambert's audios, and then have the volume loud enough so I can actually hear it, because I just the viewers hearing it. And then pause and do commentary on Chuck Lambert audios. So, gang stalk is real, and it's a global issue. So there's people in America told me there's people in Sweden. And I don't know exactly how many. There's no knowns, no unknowns, no unknown. Here's the thing. In my estimation, maybe there's somewhere between 10 and 1,000 tornadoes in Sweden. I say most like 10,000. People that know that they're talking about secret program will destroy the life. I'd say somewhere between 10 and 10,000 tornadoes. In America, I would guesstimate between 10,000 and 100,000 maybe. And what is gang stalking? It's a secret persecution program. It's reminiscent of the Streltsyn program that the German camp had in the 70s and 80s. And it's a state program. So anyway, take away Chuck Lambert and I'll get back to playing his audios. This is what are we at? Number 1, 2, 10, 24. Yeah, we're at order number 1. Watch this on the phone. You can tune into the laptop so you can the orders when you hit orders. We're gonna get some faster bits in the future. When we get some. Yeah. So, yeah, before being put in the drunk tank, I had to undress. I didn't even have to show my ID to ass. it's like so after that, before they got put in the drunk tank, they take it to a room and had to, and for me there's a lot of undressing because I wear so many layers. I had to take everything off. I had my boxer shorts and to go away. You had to pull out your boxers. I was, you want to see my dick? Okay, put it down. Jag kan put it back on again. Okay, so it's, I guess gotta make sure we don't have something like some knife tape to your butt cheek or something. They're just smuggling there. Most of the time, people end up in drug tank. It's not like they plan to go in there. Understand? There's a few people like looking to be like, I'm trying to figure out how to get locked up in drug tank for 8 hours. I said, this is okay. Not his support. I also had like snus, nicotine pouches like a can, and then since I kind of had it open, I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I had a nicotine can, and at the top lid I had my supplements. I guess I had a caffeine capsule, 200 milligram caffeine capsule. I had a digestive enzyme supplement, which I could take with my meals, and then lactose enzymes because I'm lactose intolerant, which means if I eat something like milk, dairy, cheese, I take lactose enzymes to help my stomach, and 2B complex tablets in the window. So it's like they go like, yeah, there was some pills or something as well. What's that? I told them the truth, it's like supplements that take with my food. Okay. I didn't know there was a truth to get tested, no drugs in it. So I'm gonna eat it. And I didn't get my supplements yet, which I ordered. So all I have left right now is this lactose enzymes, multi-enzyme, and B complex. Normally they do no supplements. But the supplements I ordered didn't arrive yet. So let's get back to plain check label order here. That's how beauty. See if we have recourse practices for it. It's 15:01 and I'm breaking my fast. Ja. This is going to be our battery condition. So. So I'm eating earlier and higher carb than usual. Yeah. What? Yeah, relax. Hey, relax. I'm gonna have a conversation with people on. Stay long. So this audio recording from Chuck Elbridge show he had a guest on. There was talk about the child dying in the hospital. And he was visible about that. And I don't know if the guy ended up being a talk video or not after that. I'm not sure.
Way in the other eye. 29 days later, the hospital told us that she died as, they believe, severe allergic reaction to anaphylactic shock. She died of anaphylactic shock as a severe allergic reaction to the erythromycin. Okay, and now I'm so sorry to bring this up, but I heard you.
And I've come close to dying from the toilet in that way, or risked it. After many years of toilet and health problem, I became severely allergic to perfume. And after I did, they probably started using perfume to attack me. I mean, they sent people into the corner store and they were shopping to spray perfume there or spray perfume themselves. And I could tell I just started using perfume to attack me. And back when I used to be a lot more sensitive than I am now, I still have allergies to perfume, like generally like chemicals. Okay. Back when I used to be as sensitive as I was, you'd be like, if I catch a whiff of perfume, I get like a asthma attack. It would be like this. And I had an inhaler that doctor prescribed me that I stopped buying because I don't need it anymore. I've improved my health generally, the supplement, the diet, everything I'm doing. Now, back when I used to be sensitive, and I don't believe that I would have been allergic to perfume if it hadn't been for autonomy, the psychological and physical autonomy. So after many years of autonomy, I got this health problem, being allergic to perfume. And I remember one event where I was in the corner store, like a clear one. There's some cases where it's like, sometimes I got a cab booked for, let's say, $1,300 tomorrow. Let's say that I had. And it's like at 12:55, I leave my apartment. And like right as I'm leaving, I can hear somebody use the elevator, like right before I'm leaving. And then as I enter the elevator, it smells like someone's in like spraying a lot of perfume in there. And like little things like this over time, being a phone reader, I can tell that they have heard spray perfume where I'm gonna be, or they get told to spray perfume on outside their clothes before getting close to me, things like this in the supermarket. And one clear event was one of these people I know is a perfect gang stalker for the program. And I went to the corner store in the city, and I used to kind of hang out there more. I stopped doing that, but I used to go there sometimes and like buy a coffee and sit and hang out there. They're like a little table in the corner. I'd be there kind of hanging out. Go there, buy an energy drink or coffee, something, and hang out for a while, then go home. And one of the times this guy walked in, who I knew was a gang stalker from before. And they used to have like a perfume rack next to the checkout where you pay for stuff. Like this is years back, maybe 6, 8. They had like a rack of perfume. And this one I was super sensitive. Meaning I'd be like react to perfume, I get like a severe breathing crisis. Where it get harder and harder for me to breathe if I smell perfume. That's how sensitive I used to be. I'm still allergic to perfume, but I don't have that level of reaction to it. Okay. I've improved it. And knowing that, the program will still send perps to put perfume around me. Which means if you're that sensitive that I used to be, you risk anaphylactic shock, whatever the medical term is. Where if you have that reaction to something you're allergic to, that I used to, that level of sensitivity, that level of allergy, was like you smell perfume and you start like the airways start closing up. You can feel it getting incrementally harder and harder to breathe. Like this, okay? If you're that sensitive, you risk it going from there, like harder and harder to breathe to your airways closed, and that's called anaphylactic shock, something like this. If you're that sensitive, you risk it turning from like, oh, it's really hard to breathe, okay, to your airways closed and you need to have an EpiPen, or you die. Unless you get like an EpiPen within 3 minutes, and even then it's not 100. But it's like this, if it goes from like really hard to breathe from the allergies to closed, you can die, okay? And knowing full well how sensitive I used to be, they would send people to spray perfume around me, spray perfume on themselves first, and get close to me. I remember one time, they sent all these people in there. So I was in the corner store, at this like gambling corner, I call it, where they have like screens where people can watch horse race and stuff, and they have like sticks where you can gamble and stuff. I don't recommend gambling since then, but okay. Now, I was sitting there and had some coffee or whatever, and there's one of these perp walking, and I know he's a gang stalker. And he goes to the perfume rack next to the. So they had like some gas station. They had like a rack with sunglasses or what it is. They had like a rack with perfume, okay. And he goes and gets a perfume, and he starts like threatening, act like he's gonna spray it. Understand? It's like in portrayal, like he's act like he's smelling it, and kind of act like he's gonna spray it. He actually gets close to my table. I go, hey, please don't spray that. I'm super allergic to perfume. Okay, so like, please don't spray it here. I'm super allergic to perfume. And he kind of acts like he can't hear me and sprays it in the air kind of next to the table. Okay, and I know that was a gang stalking perp. Okay, and sure enough, I start having a hard time beating, and I go outside to get some fresh air. And maybe he felt safer there when he had his buddies to back him up, because it was like at least 3 more people in the establishment that were on Team Perp. But I'm standing out there to catch my breath in the fresh air, so I leave right after. And he walks out, and I walk up and confront him. I go, hey, why the hell did you spray the perfume? I asked you, please don't spray it. I'm super allergic. I could actually like die. It's like I risk dying. It was not being dramatic. But if you're that sensitive as I was, I believe that you could get to we have anaphylaxis, where air response up completely unless they hit you with EpiPen, you die. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, and kind of scurs away and wants to get away from me real quick. So, it's lucky that it was me and another target video. Because another target might have been having a knife on him, but they're ready to use it on him. If he didn't get away from them, I apologize. So, this program is not fun and games. This program has attacked me physically. And by the way, do you know how sick that is? It's like I'm a total video, I'm allergic to perfume, and the program sends people to spray perfume in the store on there. Literally to that level, which I could die from. Okay? That's why I even talk about chemical warfare. I've been talking about chemical warfare.
Telling you a story the other night, and you feel that this might have something to do with you, the reason they, tell us the targeted individual implication of what you just described, please. Well, I'm a government resistor. I drive with no license. I distribute flyers that teach people how to drive without license.
I'm being a little bit facetious, but my point is this. I do believe that some, like literally, okay, meaning if they did the same tactics they done to me, that have made me mad by never like attacking somebody, I do believe that there's total videos in this world that have gotten violent. Like Myra May, for example. I believe he could have been a real TI, but brainwashed by fakes like Scott Snitzer and Cat and Corner types online into believing that how he was targeted physically is like direct energy weapons. So there was a guy called Myra May, told video, and he did a mass shooting, allegedly. The Navy Yard shooting, Myra May. And before he did that, he was sending like video recordings to news stations about I'm a targeted video and I get attacked and stuff. Now the issue is, the turn in the punch bowl was, I do believe that very well he could have been a real TMRMA, only having been brainwashed by the fakes. He realizes he's a gang stalker when these people are sent to harass him, stalking, workplace bullying, this and that. And then he's searching, he finds out like, oh, it's called gang stalker, what I'm talking with. And starts searching that. He sees videos show up like Scott Snitzer types. That type of person was like, yeah, if you're taught video, not only are they stalking and harassing you, but they're attacked with laser beams from satellites, or they're vibrating your organs with frequency weapons, or like nutty stuff like this. And he might have been brainwashed into believe that it's like, oh yeah, that's how I get targeted physically. When in reality, the program might have been putting chemicals into his home when he was away, having people spray him with chemicals when he's out in public, and then he's reacting to it, and then he's been brainwashed into falsely attributing his very real symptoms from very real targeting to these direct energy weapon boogeymen. Do you understand? When I started being targeted, it happened sometimes I'm outside, and the program will have a car drive past and spray a chemical, like a gas cloud, and I start itching and stuff. And if I would find like Scott Snitzer or other fake TS online, and they'd be like, yeah, the directed weapons can make your skin itch and make you red water eyes. I might believe that was how I was taught. Okay, so my point is this: I do believe that Myra May could have been a real TI who was brainwashed by fake TIs lied into thinking that he's being attacked physically with direct-ended weapons like satellites, direct-ended weapons. Um, uh, he had a shotgun, and he had etched into his stock, "This is my direct-ended weapon." And then he went to a place and then shot up the place, and allegedly. So I do believe that he very well could have been a real TI who had been brainwashed by fake TI crazy talkers into believing that he's attacked physically with direct-ended weapons, satellites out of space, microwave or sorts of stuff. When in reality, he could have been attacked by the program spraying chemicals on him, doing covert entry, sneaking inside of his home in his way, and putting chemical irritants in his environment who comes home is reacting to. Either by being sprayed, attacked physically by the program outside, or after coming home, they put something in his apartment, his home that he starts reacting to, and he thinks it's direct-ended weapons make him feel like that. So my point is this: I do believe that there's some mass stabbings, mass shootings that are happening in this world, done by the real individuals that snapped and went ballistic. I've been taught for more than 10 years and I didn't attack somebody physically. I didn't like attack somebody. But I do believe that some of these events you see about some guy goes nuts, Walmart, it's like a mass violence event. I do believe that some of these mass violence events have been taught individuals that go postal. We're talking. And my point is this: if you're told, I recommend that you, as a general rule of thumb, I recommend that you try your hardest to not get violent. If you're being told. So if you're told the video, you do get physical attack. Food poisons, chem sprays can be used on it.
Most flat legally. You there on the board. You have annoyed them big time. But yeah.
Speaking of the cops, okay. I've seen a clip. They have a show like Swedish cops, whatever. Like Södertälje police or whatever. They have like a show similar to like the cop show. Where they show like videos from police. And I remember seeing one of these clips. They said, oh, that guy was a total video. And the police showed up and this guy running around and crashing out in public. And then when the cops were up, put him in the car, he says that, yeah, I'm remote controlled. Basically, it's like satellites that are remote controlled me or something. It's okay. And like there are people around saying he's a pedo and stuff like this. And it's like, even the cops said, it's like, no, this guy doesn't have pedo stuff in his criminal records. But he was in the community when I'm being mad about talking in the community and people saying that he's a pedo. Okay, and the cops get called. And in the car, he says, it's remote control. And they drove to the cyclone. I don't know what happened to him. He was kept in the Alabama. But that could have been a real TI, just been brainwashed into being mixed by the target. Or it could be a real crazy person who like hears voices in the head. And then they Google like voices in the head and they found like gang stalking voices in your head machines. Okay, and you're like, oh, I'm not told individual, that's why I have voices in my head. Okay, and then I have posting about the program. Do you understand? So I could see how an organically a paranoid schizophrenic commonly correlated with genuine paranoid schizophrenia or auditory and or visual hallucinations. Meaning people that are paranoid schizophrenics, a lot of times they will have paranoid ideation. It's like there's a big conspiracy going around them, like the CIA is doing something to them. And then it's like they have a chip in their brain, that's why they have voices. Okay. And then if they Google like CIA targeting you, voices in your head och så på det. Det fanns snitching-videos on YouTube on this with that. Like gang stalk on videos, V2K machines and stuff like this. They beaming voices in Tia's head or something like this. And me, they couldn't trick me into believing this technology because I know there are hear voices in my head. Okay. So my point is, most people out here crazy talking, like I'm not talking about V2K machines are used on me. They're counterintelligence agents. They're fake videos, and they have a job to go, oh, this is real Tia Mike's active in a forum flashback about gang stalking. It's like, yes, it's real. We need to send some fakes, and they'd be like, yeah, Mike, I'm also a Tia. It's like they're looking through my eyes with satellites, and they're changing my emotions with the technology or something like that. Like a crazy talk. So the people go, oh, okay, these people are nuts. And then you have a few real, so most people claim retarded videos and crazy talking, they're paid fakes, they cannot tell us, they have a job to claim to be a retarded video, talk about gang stalking, make it sound crazy. That's why they talk about having chip in the brain, or that the program is attacking them with satellites or something like this. And I could also see how you have like a few really crazy people that have paranoid schizophrenia, and they hear voices and see things, and they get exposed to this program. They get exposed to. My point is this: so I can see how organically paranoid schizophrenic, a paranoid schizophrenic that hears voices, sees visions, because real paranoid schizophrenia, a lot of times they hear voices and see things. Okay, so a lot of people with this real mental health problem, paranoid schizophrenia, they hear voices, they see things other people can see. It's like dragons or whatever. Like whatever. And a lot of times there'll be like a parallel component to it, where they believe that they are taught with a conspiracy, and a lot of them will think there's like the voices they're hearing is the government beaming them into the head or something like this. Okay. Or it's like it's the Pope put a chip in my brain. That's how the voices come in my head. Like a lot of times it'll be like a parallel component to it. It's like the origin of the voices are. So this is technology, okay? So if a person like that is like Googling voices in your head, they're gonna come across if the person is like researching their issues online. When I talk to a doctor, they search like voices in your head machine or something like this, okay? It's like they'd be more like the 5 Scottsnix videos when I say that. But yeah, gang stalk videos, the program definitely has technology that can put thoughts in your head, and V2K machines are used on it, as it is. So my point is this: most TIs online show call are fakes. Most TIs online are fakes. Most fake TIs are crazy talkers. And you might have a few really crazy people that come into the TI community and talk about voices in your head machines and VTKs.
We've got two examples. One is that you drive without a license. One is that your youngster died. And is there any other reason why you might be considered, why you may have provoked them, targeted hate-wise, like in 2004?
Yeah, so if you told the video, I recommend a defensive mentality more than offensive one. You know, I mean, offensive fine with my videos, but I've had more of a defensive portion than an offensive one. I'd recommend that to you too for some people. Meaning, work to protect yourself from the target, how they don't attack you, rather than focusing on attacking the program back. Okay. Meaning, if in the supermarket they're harassing, I don't recommend like how can I attack these people back in right now. As a mentality, it's not good. It's better you work to protect yourself as much as possible. Make the attacks affect you less. Avoid environments where you will be attacked. Things like this. As much as possible. And if you want to fight, well, here's how I fight. I make videos like this. The program doesn't like this. The program doesn't like me being live on the internet talking about gang stalking. This is me hitting back, understand? So there's ways that you can fight back against the program. They are not illegal and not even immoral.
In the 9 largest marijuana cases in the state of Washington ever won by a pro se litigant.
What is legal and what is moral are not always the same thing. Meaning in Sweden, abortion is legal. Okay. But that's a sin river. Also, lying is legal in Sweden. Okay. It's not illegal to lie, but the Bible says it's a sin to lie. So it's not that if you're a Christian, so just look at what the law book says in your country, and that's going to teach you how to live as a Christian. Because the laws, local laws can say it's okay to do something that the Bible says is not okay. But then also local laws can say that something's bad to do that the Bible doesn't say is bad to do. Now, Bible local laws are going to self-defense. Now, that's another thing. Bible local laws generally at all times is my recommendation.
For multiple felony counts of manufacturing marijuana.
These perps, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed. But yeah, these perps are disgusting freaks, understand? And cowards. They're cowards. I don't care. Yes, people are gonna say that I'm terribly crazy because I'm speaking the truth. Every time in the supermarket, there's gonna be 3+ people that are agents. They're in there pushing my buttons, harassing me, the stalkers, the gang stalking perps. And y'all think always do it to harass and pull them different ways. And I have every right to not be happy about it. I have every right to not be happy about it and to be angry about it.
66 pot plants all over 6 feet tall. Best purple bud you've ever smoked in your life. We
Okay, we don't need. Okay, and any other reasons why you might have provoked the law, please? Any other reasons?
Because in their eyes, in their eyes, we practice law without a license. We are not attorneys. We are not experts. We never went to law.
Yeah, so I said this before in this video. One of the ways I've been attacked physically by the program. One, okay, or many. They sent a gang stalker into a corner store to spray perfume there. No full well that I was super allergic to it. And that's what they sent the guy there. Because I'm in there told video that's allergic to perfume after many years of talking. I got a health problem. And they sent a guy in there to spray perfume there. Which theoretically could lead to me dying. As sensitive as I was, I believe it could flip over to like anaphylactic shock, anaphylaxis, whatever the medical thing is. Where if you have that level of sensitivity in an allergy, if that's to dogs or whatever, and you're exposed to the thing you're allergic to, and you start having like a hard time breathing, incrementally hard to breathe. It's like hard to breathe, and that's how it used to be. I smell perfume, be like, start getting like harder and harder to breathe. So it feels like my airways were like closing. It was like you start getting hard to breathe, and you feel like almost like being choked. It'd be like it gets slowly like harder and harder to breathe by the minute. Now, doing my research on that, if you have that level of sensitivity, you risk anaphylactic shock, whatever it's called. Where it can go from like hard to breathe to your airways just close completely. Unless you get an EpiPen, you can actually die. Then EpiPen could save a person's life if they have a problem. It's basically, okay, so here's the point. And actually, I asked the doctor once, when I used to have that level of sensitivity, if I could get one of those EpiPens, because I heard they can save your life in case it goes from being that harder to breathe to you can't breathe at all. And I go, well, do you have like red marks on your neck? And I go, not that I've noticed something like this. Well, maybe if you have red marks on your neck, you need one of those.
And I go, okay. And I didn't get one. Okay. Now, thankfully, I've been working to improve my health, so I'm not as sensitive I still have allergies to perfume, but I don't react as strongly if I get exposed to them. So here's the point. That's one way I've been attacked physically before. So do you understand? What are some other ways I've been attacked physically before? In a restaurant, there's a group of persons walk in, past my table, spray something on me. There's some spy gadget they're holding, and they stand next to my table, and I can feel like something hit my face and I start itching. I've been sprayed by cars too. They had cars drive past me and spray something on me. Food poison. I've been shot in the leg with what I believe was a CIA dart gun. It just sounds crazy if you put the word CIA into your activism. Okay, there's a conspiracy and then you use the word CIA there. So it's like, yeah. So it's like I was hit by something like a spy gadget, okay, in the right leg. And I believe it could have been something similar to the CIA dart gun. And I still have permanent damage from right leg, like a non-spot of the right leg. Right calf from that. So, I don't have to get into all the hypotheticals, like things I'm sure about, and then others like I think they could have done this. So, the point is, I'm definitely having attacked physically by the program. And if you're talking with you have too. Maybe you noticed 10 things, and you've been attacked 100 times. You notice 10 of them. That's the point. No wonder I'm angry at these people. If you're a person that works for the program, I'm in the shopping. Oh, this gang stalks in here again. Perp, so-called. Perp gang stalkers. They are in here. Now, what does that mean? That means that you are people, the people are in there. You just show that you work for a program that sometimes uses people like you to attack me physically with a weapon. Like spray a chemical in the air that I'm superallergic to. Or shoot me there with a dart gun. Or spray a chemical on me. So if I'm in a supermarket, I can tell, oh, there's a gang stalking perp. I would have every reason to assume that you might be about to attack me there, physically. Like has happened before. It's like, oh, I'm in the corner store. Oh, here's one of these perps. Oh, they sprayed a chemical in the air that I'm allergic to. Or they walk past me and they hit me in the leg with something. A weapon. Okay. So, yeah, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. Really, maybe I should make more videos, like coaching TS videos, and pass on some of the secrets to success, meaning ways you can be less hurt by the target, less affected by poisonings, less affected by the psychological target. And people go, well, man, if I talk about how I can teach people how to reduce stress and anxiety and stuff. Oh, but Mike, sometimes I see you crashing out, being really angry and not calm. Yeah, but imagine how it'd be if I didn't know what I know. Imagine what it'd be like if I did know what I know. Back to the checkline order.
And they can't have them. They can't have people who are not members of the bar.
Okay, any other examples of things that you have done to really annoy them, to really get under their skin? Things.
So info, what is gang stalking? It's a secret program that will teach people to attack a person with psychological warfare and physical warfare. Mostly covert, meaning subtle secret.
Stopped. First, major tax files, reading for federal circuits.
Okay, now, you're making, that's a pretty big accusation that we're making that, I believe it was an accusation, correct me if I'm wrong, but that,
So this is Chuck Lundberg, this is order number 2. And he had a guest on that was visible about go to the hospital and the person said that the hospital killed a baby, allegedly, by giving them some drug that they had reaction to the baby died. Now that baby's in heaven, okay? You need babies that die go straight to heaven. Do not pass go, understand? There's no like Catholic purgatory, the baby has to be in hell for a while to burn away the non-existent sin nature that you never had imputed onto them. They're like, there's a point. So babies go straight to heaven. If a baby dies, they go straight to heaven. So if you listen to my videos, I talk about salvation and people being lost sinners, and if people don't become Christians, they don't get saved before they die, they go to hell. Okay. Now babies are an exception. If a baby dies, okay, if a baby dies, it goes straight to heaven. God takes it straight to heaven. Because it's like, would you throw a baby in hell? You're not better than God, understand? So it's like God is not going to throw an innocent little baby in hell. It's like, it's not going to happen. So Satan would probably, if he could, he'd probably have been, Satan, if he could put babies in hell, he'd probably do it. I respect him, dude. I suppose. So, that baby is in heaven now. I don't know if it's going to get to talk about how you started being told after whistle about that or not, or if this was just like a wild card against the Chuck Lundberg head on. Because it's like, oh, here's the guy wanting to get the word about some state corruption or something like this, and he had him up as a guest. Or if we will get to that he goes that he's been told and have to start to speak out about the baby dying in the hospital. I'm having a phone call.